Hey everyone, welcome back to Bleach Brave Souls, and today we're going to talk about the best speed characters for the current inheritance zone. Now these videos might be coming out a little bit late, and I apologize for that. I do have to make them as soon as they're released, so I mean, I only have a day to get it done, so you know, you'll have to excuse me on that. But the information will still be relevant in future inheritance zones, where the characters that have the advantages are the Hollow Killers and the Soul Reaper Killers. So with that out of the way, this is not a top 5 list per se. It's more of just a list of characters that I think are very effective in the current inheritance zone. We'll talk about the characters first that I don't actually have, but are still pretty good for the inheritance zone. I won't be able to show you gameplay on these, but I can give you the general basics of what their advantages are. And the first character that is going to be excellent for the inheritance zone is Gan-Ryu. Now, Gan-Ryu is a limited edition character. He's a movie character. We don't know if he's ever coming back, so if you have him, you are very fortunate. Gan-Ryu is a Soul Reaper killer, so in the current inheritance zone he has a 3x killer advantage, and in my opinion he's possibly the best pure NAD character in the game right now for the speed attribute. He has a great attack, I believe it's the highest attack in the game at 750 something. He has a 50% bruiser, guys, 50%. That is amazing. He does not have flurry, but you know, this is the next best thing you can get to flurry. 50% bruiser with 750 plus attack. He does amazing NAD damage. He has good range on his NADs. He does have good speed on his NADs, and he looks pretty cool to boot. He's got that green aura around him. Gan-Ryu also can inflict paralysis on strong attacks 2 and 3, so that's kind of an added bonus. And as well, you guys have to consider that he doesn't have a killer attribute, so he doesn't take extra damage from people with Arrancar Killer or, you know, whatever, Hollow Killer, Soul Reaper Killer, whatever. He is immune to that part of the game. So that's why I have Gan-Ryu as one of the top 5 characters for the current inheritance zone. Now, the second character that I'm not going to be able to show you gameplay for is going to be Team Retsu. And guys, if you want to see gameplay on these characters, just put a search into YouTube for Team Retsu or Gan-Ryu, and I'm sure there'll be a ton of videos that come up. I know that Rawad has a really good showcase on Team Retsu, and I think somebody else has done Gan-Ryu, but I'm not 100% on it. You'll just have to search it on your own. And as all tag team characters have, they have a dual killer attribute. And this particular version of Retsu is a Soul Reaper killer and a Arrancar killer. I had to check to make sure I was right. But the Soul Reaper killer will apply in this inheritance zone, so it's ×3 damage against those types of enemies. She is an excellent character, guys. In my opinion, she's best built as a strong attack damage, strong attack recharge hybrid. And that's because of the nature of her strong attacks. They have very good mechanics. Her third strong attack is a full screener. I believe it's her second strong attack is a moving vortex. So a moving vortex is very, very good for controlling mobs and kind of immobilizing them for a short period of time and interrupting their charge up attacks. So that's why you want to have the recharge, a little bit of recharge, so you can have more uptime on that moving vortex, so you can use the strong attack 3 more often. And the strong attack 1 is also very good for just, you know, a simple dash forward to knock some enemies down. She does also have Frenzy, which increases her damage. That's also a bonus. And in addition, as far as utility goes, she can inflict paralysis on all of her attacks. So this character is pretty good for you know, the inheritance zone, because she can do all these various things. She's probably not going to be able to hit as hard as a character like Manga Shunsui, but she makes up for it in her utility and her you know, crowd control abilities. That is Team Retsu. I don't have this character, like I said, but from the gameplay I've seen and from what I know of her abilities and statistics, she's going to be excellent for inheritance zone. Alright, so of the 3 characters I do have in my possession, in the number 3 spot, I'm going to have to put Xin Kurosaki. Now, Xin Kurosaki, he's kind of like a, you know, I hate to say it, but he's kind of like a poor man's version of Gan-Ryu. He's almost as good as him, and some might argue that he is as good as Gan-Ryu, but he doesn't have the utility that Gan-Ryu has, because he has no status effects he can inflict. He really has nothing. He's really a vanilla character. He has you know, no unique things about him that make him stand out. So I mean, he's just pure damage. Ishin pure damage, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because he does the one thing he does, NAD damage, he does very well. He also has a 50% bruiser, and he has very high attack. I think it's in the 740s. I highly recommend a NAD Chappy build on this character. You're not going to get much damage out of his strong attacks if you choose to go hybrid, so it's totally worth it to put all your eggs in one basket. His NAD string, it's got decent speed and it's got good range, so he's not really lacking in that department. The only other thing I can say about Isshin is he does have an upgraded soul trait, which is 25 normal attack damage. So that is Xin Kurosaki, a decent character if somewhat bland. Okay, so the number 2 character that I recommend out of the ones I possess, out of the ones in my possession, I have to stress that, guys, is Szayelaporro. Szayelaporro is an amazing character, but in my opinion, he feels stiff to play. He doesn't feel very smooth. So this is just maybe my personal thing, but I don't find him to be very enjoyable to use, although he is very strong. So for Szayelaporro, or Szayelaporro, I mean, I'm sure people are going to start correcting me in the comments, but for this character, the optimal build will be some kind of normal attack damage and strong attack recharge, hybrid, or you know, any combination of the two. So you could go pure normal attack damage and be pretty good. You could go pure recharge and be pretty good, or you can combine both, go half and half, or whatever combination you prefer. And that's kind of one of the nice things about this character. You can build them in a variety of ways and still be effective. So maybe the biggest benefit to using Szayelaporro is the fact that his second strong attack is a heal and a boost. That is an amazing ability. It's very useful, especially in co-op. You know, people are going to be expecting you to run full recharge, and I recommend that's what you do, because if you use Szayelaporro in co-op, you're probably expected to be a healer or a support character, not to dish out the damage. So that is just one of the things you're going to have to live with if you use this character in co-op. I mean, you can still build them any way you want, but you might be holding back your team a bit if you choose to go less than full strong attack recharge. Now, on the other end of the scale, if you deck him out for full normal attack damage, he will hit pretty hard, guys. He's a ranged character, that's another benefit to him, and he can stay out of harm's way a little bit. But, you know, his NAD string, I don't know how to describe it, guys. It just feels stiff. It kind of locks him into place. It's not very smooth. It's kind of, I can't really describe it properly. You'd have to play the character yourself to know what I'm talking about. But it's still very effective. And with a full normal attack damage build, as you can see on the screen, he hits like a truck, especially if you keep the boost active as much as possible. Now, one thing to note about the boost is that it doesn't have enhancer, so it's a very short boost. But for that period of time, it's very he'll be a freaking beast. And one last thing about the boost is it does deal damage, but you know, it's the range on it is horrible. You know, you have to be pretty much on top of your enemies to hit them. It's probably best that you think of it as not even a damaging attack. So that's kind of a drawback, because he only has 2 real useful strong attacks. And if there's a lot of guard, it could be a problem. You know, you'll probably end up waiting on your strong attacks to recharge. But you can mitigate that somewhat by running a NAD recharge hybrid. And the last thing worth mentioning about Szayelaporro is that he has poison on pretty much everything. So poison is great when you're fighting the bosses. You can make short work of them. And the random procs on his normals and his strong attacks are also helpful as well. So that is Szayelaporro. Very good character for Inheritance Zone. Any healer is really good for Inheritance Zone. And Szayelaporro adds to it because he can also boost. And he can do damage. And he can pretty much do it all. The thing is, he's just kind of stiff to play. So Szayelaporro in at number 2. Very effective character. If you have him, you know, use him. Alright, so now we're on to the number 1 character for this particular Inheritance Zone. And it should be no surprise, it's going to be Manga Shunsui. Manga Shunsui is a freaking beast in Inheritance Zone. This guy, man, he hits like a freaking truck. And my recommendation for a build on Manga Shunsui is all out strong attack damage and spiritual pressure. You could mix in some recharge if you like, but for me, it's more fun to play with a full strong attack damage Shunsui, because he just one-shots. He one-shots the enemies every time he uses a strong attack. And I like that style of play for this character. Now, for other characters, it's not the same. But for Shunsui, since he does hit so hard, the strong attack damage build is really fun. Pretty much his third strong attack, the full screener, that is pretty much a board wipe. You know, there might be some survivors, but nothing you can't clean up with a few normal attacks. Yeah, pretty much everything's gonna die from that third strong attack. You know, as all third strong attacks are, though, it has a very long cooldown, so that's a little bit of a drawback, but not really that bad at all. And speaking of his NAD, it is actually serviceable. His NAD string, it's fast and it has excellent range. But you know, you're not going to do that much damage because you're probably going to want to build this character for full strong attack damage. So I mean, it is a usable NAD string though, and in between waiting for cooldowns and stuff like that, you're going to want to use it. I mean, I would actually even consider going with a NAD, strong attack damage, and strong attack recharge triple hybrid. I think that would be viable as well. I've never tried it, but he does have a good NAD string, and you know, it could potentially, I could see it working. So that is Shunsui. Oh, one more thing for Shunsui, he has the potential to insta-kill on his special. And if he doesn't insta-kill on his special, it still does a lot of damage. So overall, this is probably the best character you can use in the Inheritance Zone with the current setup. As you may know, the Inheritance Zone changes from time to time. You know, sometimes it'll be best for different killer attributes. But for the current iteration of the Inheritance Zone, I think that Manga Shunsui is the best speed character for that particular stage. So there you have it, guys. Those are my picks. I don't think you could really disagree with many of them. I mean, for most of you guys who know the game pretty well, this is kind of obvious. There are some other characters that I left off the list that are still viable. Parasol Nanao is very viable, basically because she's a healer with recharge, and she can still chip in some decent damage. There's other characters like Sun. You know, as much as people make fun of Yami, he's usable because he does have a Soul Reaper killer as well. I don't recommend it, but if you don't have any of the characters I talked about in this video, those guys are, you know, they're okay options. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Once again, I have to apologize for not getting these videos out in a more timely manner, but you know, I do have to wait for the actual stage to come out, and you know, I have real life things going on, so sometimes, you know, the video just comes out later than normal, but it should still be relevant. You know, I mean, these Inheritance Zones will come back, and they're going to be coming back this weekend as well, all the colors. So that's all I have for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll probably do the next color tomorrow. Bye-bye.